What policies do you support that will address the three most important issues to people living in San Bernardino, which are education, jobs, crime, and public safety?
Well, let's start with education. First, San Bernardino has a great amount of education that can draw students in. And we have good schools that unfortunately they don't have a place to go, those students, when they graduate. We need to develop the collaboration with the business community and with the education community so that the students that are coming out of school are able to take on the jobs that San Bernardino currently has available. There are a number of jobs in San Bernardino that those students could be trained for. The problem is that I don't see that there's necessarily a good ongoing collaboration with the business community and with the city to be able to say, this is where we need students' skills to be developed, and then be able to say these are the jobs that are out there, because San Bernardino has a fairly large workforce that is not working in San Bernardino. And part of it also is that San Bernardino's skill set for the residents of San Bernardino don't meet the level that we need in order to be able to put them into positions in San Bernardino. The workforce in San Bernardino is about 80,000+, and in addition to that, we have about 80,000+ jobs in San Bernardino. But you find a great deal of those jobs are held by people coming from outside of the community. That's where we need to be working together with getting those jobs known to the education institutions, so then they are trained to be able to fill some of those jobs.
What kind of policies can you put in place or programs to try and make that happen?
I think one of the programs that has been done in the past is there has been more collaboration. When I was meeting the other day with one of the San Bernardino Unified School District board members, she indicated to me that the city council used to collaborate and sit down with them and talk to them. There used to be ongoing dialogue and communication. That needs to be re-engaged in order for there to be an ongoing attempt to make sure that there is an effort that the businesses are communicating with the institutions and letting them know what kind of skills they need. We have jobs in San Bernardino. We need more jobs in San Bernardino to be able to attract some of those students that are coming out of those schools in order to be able to retain them so that they'll buy homes in San Bernardino, so that there's more ownership instead of just a high level of renter occupancy.
But besides helping the students stay at the high schools, the community colleges, the university, besides helping them develop the skills that the industry needs, what about the people that are already out of school? Can we develop some kind of programs or some kind of workshops or something like that can kind of train them, prepare them for the jobs at hand?
Well, yes, and there are some of those already in San Bernardino, but I think that they're just probably not as expensive as they need to be. You can look at Kelly Space, who put together the technical employment training program, and they generate a very high success rate of placement with those. And there's another program that's also being started down at Norton Air Force Base. Those are the kinds of things that I think we need to expand on. And I think it's important to also get this San Bernardino Unified School District engaged in bringing some of those that are already out of school back into the system and helping them to be able to gain those skills that they need. We also need to be attractive to some businesses, and we need to be able to let those businesses, we do have a workforce here, and it's a workforce that is really well and able to get to work. But we're not very attractive to outside businesses. When they see that we have a political environment that's not stable, a political environment that oftentimes does not clearly know where they want to go, it makes it very difficult for that collaboration to take part. There are companies that would like to come into San Bernardino. They also see how it's very difficult to start something because of the changing of the game and the rules that are not necessarily well defined. The other day I was speaking with a member from the Chamber of Commerce, and he ended up being the mediator between the city's planning and development department and a company that wanted to come in. Those are some of the things that also need to be addressed, so that the city has a streamlined process in order to be able to be more attractive to outside businesses.
What kind of things can we do to attract more businesses?
Well, clearly I think it goes back to the same question you asked earlier about attracting entertainment and concerts. When the city is in the state of disrepair that it is, you're not going to find businesses that are going to be all that attractive. I think this election is very positive in terms of the opportunity that we have to change some faces and change the outlook to those that are looking at San Bernardino. If they see that San Bernardino is serious and San Bernardino has made some changes and has changed its leadership, both on the council, the mayor is going to be different, then I think outside people will be more interested in coming to San Bernardino and getting engaged. But we have to have an infrastructure. We have to have the ability for planning and building to be on board with it. And so it's taking the entire arsenal of the municipal toolbox and bringing it all together and saying, this is what we need to fix, and fix it as quickly as possible so that the outside communities and the outside businesses see that we are interested. And I think also will help the outside communities. The county also wants San Bernardino to be successful. We are not looked upon favorably by many of the surrounding communities. Well, the county also is dragged down by that. The county should also be engaged in helping San Bernardino to improve itself, and it can be. I've met with the county administrative officer, and I've met with a couple of the county supervisors. I've gone outside of San Bernardino in order to be able to find out what are some of the things that they've done differently. I've met with a number of met with leaders, and I've worked with other communities to try to find out some of the things they've done. I've talked about what they've done with panhandling. I've talked about what they've done with the homeless. Those are real issues. Those are today issues, and we have to address those in order to be able to look to the future. If we don't deal with those right now, and we don't come up with solid, sustainable solutions to those, we're not going to get any better, and we're not going to be able to track those outside businesses, and we're not going to be able to track the students that are coming out of Cal State San Bernardino to want to stay here. It's got to be one of the #1 jobs, along with getting out of bankruptcy.